Eliza, are the militia still quartered at Meryton?
No, they are encamped at Brighton for the summer.
That must be a great loss for your family.
We are enduring it as best we can, Miss Bingley.
I should have thought one gentleman's absence might have caused particular pangs.
I can't imagine who you mean.
I understood that certain ladies found the society of Mr. Wickham.
Miss Bingley is the kind of woman who doesn't want any other women around, desperately jealous of any kind of competition. She knows she's a fool, in fact, because every time she makes a come on at Darcy, she shoots herself in the foot. But she's somebody who's a bit self-destructive, can't quite stop herself from saying the wrong thing at the wrong time. Too ambitious, wants it too much.
She is really a wonderful, as played by Anna Chancellor, she's a wonderful observer back of the Bennets. I mean, you know, we are looking through the Bennet sisters' eyes at the world around them. But Miss Bingley is a terrific observer of them, very catty and unkind and sarcastic about them, but really sort of useful to see how, you know, what one could say that's unpleasant about Mrs. Bennet and the younger girls. And she's also a very nearly tragic figure because she has fixed everything. She's aged about 27. She's really getting too old to be married. And her last throw is this tremendously rich prize, Darcy. And, you know, we watch her losing him.
I'd say that whatever time you come from in history, women, some women, we won't say all, have been mad about men, mad about getting their man. In some ways, that's within all of us, isn't it? What we hope that when we fancy a guy, want to get hold of a guy, that we're not going to kill ourselves on the way of getting there. I mean, I think Miss Bingley is a lesson that if he likes you, let him come to you, as Eliza Bennet does. Maybe Jane Austen is giving women quite a good tip.
Darcy's a very proud person. There are forms of pride which I think can be thought to be worthy. You know, one can be proud of one's work. One can be proud of one's family, and proud of who one is, legitimately, I think. And he clearly feels that his pride is legitimate. In fact, if I can remember another direct quote, where there is real superiority of mind, pride will always be under good regulation. So he clearly sees it as not pomposity at all, but a recognition of his own superiority. And you know, by one way or another, he's brought to question this, I think.
Darcy is somebody that we don't understand at all at the beginning of the book. He's described as a proud, disagreeable man, and that's virtually all you get. He's obviously very interested in Elizabeth because he talks mostly to her. But then by the end of the book, we realise a lot of things about him. That, for example, he had a lonely childhood. He had his one close friend as a boy, Wickham, turned out to be an absolute scoundrel who betrayed him, which is going to make him deeply suspicious of other people. So we find ourselves being more sympathetic towards him. And so we discover all these extra facts about Darcy. He's somebody who's capable of being really nice all along, but various circumstances in his life have turned him into a rather withdrawn and haughty person. And we wanted to show him perhaps as a character who's been wounded by life a bit, rather than somebody who's just an absolute swine.
His past friendships and family and connections are very significant. This isn't, I don't think, apparent at first. But what is revealed about his relationship with his sister reveals an enormous amount about him to Elizabeth and to us, the reader or the audience.
The problem with the part of Darcy is that we only really find out what he's like and what he's been thinking about and what he's been doing at the end of the book.
He's terribly unpredictable and manifests himself very differently all the time. He can be extremely gracious one minute and then literally on a sixpence he'll suddenly shut down again. And he can be utterly baffling. I think he probably makes the biggest journey of any of the characters in terms of change.
In Mr. Collins, again, he's a buffoon, but there's something about him that you find amusing and you want to know more and you want him to make more of a fool of himself, not less of a fool of himself. I love the just the image of this rather overweight man arriving, and they don't know what to expect. They've no idea what he's going to be like. He could be the most handsome, dashing, charming, intelligent man, but of course he isn't. Wouldn't be so interesting if he was, I suppose.
Other way, Mr. Collins.
Madam, 1,000.
Come, Mr. Collins.
My dear cousin, I apologize.
Life is a bowl of cherries for William Collins at the beginning of the book. He's got Lady Catherine de Bourgh, and so that is what one is trying to show. Everything is going his way, and I think that the proposal is a huge moment in any person's life, and he's an exception. So I would say that is one of his big moments, until she says no.
You are too hasty, sir. You forget that I have made no answer. Let me do so now. I thank you for your compliments. I am very sensible of the honor of your proposals, but it is impossible for me to accept them.
He can't believe that a woman can turn him down. And it is comic, but I think at the same time immensely serious.
I am by no means discouraged, indeed not. I understand that it is usual with young ladies to reject the addresses of the man they secretly mean to accept when he first applies for their favor, and therefore I shall hope, my dear cousin, to lead you to the altar before long.
Upon my word, your hope is an extraordinary one in view of my declaration. I was perfectly serious in my refusal. You could not make me happy, and I am convinced I am the last woman in the world who could make you so.
My dear Miss Elizabeth, my situation in life, my connection with the noble family of de Bourgh are circumstances highly in my favor. You should consider that it is by no means certain that another offer of marriage may ever be made to you. You cannot be serious in your rejection.
One has to realize that his asking her to marry him is perfectly plausible. Otherwise there would be no humor, or danger in it.
When we first auditioned David Bamber for Mr. Collins, I thought he was the ideal person for this job, and he absolutely proved it when he came into audition, because he performed the proposal scene, and he did it completely seriously, which is the only way it works, because Mr. Collins really believes he's going to be accepted. He believes he's a really good catch. And he's absolutely mortified when she turns him down. So it's impossible. It does not work if you play it for laughs.